Hey everybody, welcome to Point Being, episode number 5. So here's some thoughts I have for today about what's going on with unemployment. So hope you enjoy, and basically about how leaf blowers are everything that's wrong with capitalism. But I'll explain that in a minute. We all know times are bad right now. They're only getting worse. The unemployment level in America is it's insane. It's setting records, and for some odd reason, those numbers are pretty correlated with the number of Americans under 40 living with their parents again. So, needless to say, the entire country is a little edgy. Because I spend more than 30 minutes around my parents and one eye starts twitching. I get a dull ringing in my ear and I start to think Rachel Maddow makes sense. Point being, it's not pretty. It's right up there with having a brain-eating parasite, which Rachel Maddow almost definitely does, by the way. There's something really fascinating about a person who literally put out an entire book in 2012 titled Drift, The Unmooring of American Military Power, which is about, quote, how the U.S. declined into an overfunded and unchecked national security state. That's what the book was about. And yet now, a mere 8 years later, she does everything to try to make sure American military power remains adrift. She'd have us firing missiles at Russia as we speak if she had the power. She'd be dropping baby nukes on Venezuela and Iran and China and half a dozen other countries if they let her. This is not a tweet she should have deleted. This is a book she put out, a fucking book. Like, it's like if Lloyd Blankfein, former CEO of Goldman Sachs and all-star shithead, put out a book 10 years ago about how Wall Street had become unhinged. Anyway, point being, there's a shitload of unemployment in the U.S. right now, and the Economic Policy Institute just came out with new numbers showing, quote, unemployment has especially skyrocketed for young workers in the COVID-19 labor market. The overall unemployment rate for young workers aged 16 to 24 jumped from 8.4% to nearly 25% from spring 2019 to spring 2020. Also, spring 2020 unemployment rates were even higher for young Black, Hispanic, and Asian American Pacific Islander workers, close to 30% for all three of those groups. You see, for those who are still unclear on this, not every problem in America involves racism. But every problem in America also involves racism. You see how that works? When shit is bad for young people, it's even worse for Black young people. If the police are cracking activists' heads, they're cracking Black activists' heads twice as hard. If there's a clean water problem in America, then water in Black communities isn't just unclean, it has chunks of shit in it. Now, let's break down this unemployment problem because a lot of people don't seem to really get to the bottom of it. They remain in the surface level argument. Much like a good one-night stand, it's important to get to the bottom. I'm only half sure what that meant. So the surface problem of young people's unemployment is obvious. They don't have money, they can't pay rent, they can't pay their student loans, they can't afford food or life, they can only buy a regular coffee at Starbucks instead of the latte, frappe, unicorn, caramel, fuckity juice, and in the eyes of America, that makes them damn near destitute. So that's one reason unemployment is important. But you dig down to the second layer and you ask why we all have to be slaves to the labor market to survive in the first place. Many people are working their asses off doing awful crap that they hate, that shouldn't even have to be done. There are meaningless jobs everywhere you look. Every day outside my apartment window in the parking lot, there are like 3 leaf blower people who blow the fuck out of thousands of leaves. It sounds like we're in the middle of a monster truck rally for 3 hours every day. And here's the thing. It's fucking windy and rainy out. The leaves go back to where they were 30 seconds after the guy blows them. So much, it's like a fluffer on a porn set. His work doesn't last long. Not to mention, why do we have to have leaves in a certain place anyway? Let the leaves be leaves. Let them do their thing. We'll get by. It's not like they're fucking scorpions and leaving them around is a real danger to society. The kids, think of the kids. And it's a damn parking lot. What car can't park on leaves other than a Kia? And why the hell hasn't someone invented a leaf blower silencer yet? Why does that not exist? What we have one for shooting people, but not for leaf blower. I hear people murdered far less than I hear leaf blowers blaring away. Where's the Dyson vacuum guy when you need him? Get to work, bloke. Invent the silencer. You can't retire now. Your legacy is not secure. All you did was invent a weird vacuum and a hand dryer that actually sprays fecal matter all over people at the public restrooms. Have you guys read that study yet? I'm not kidding. I swear to God, they found out that the hand dryers are just hosing us all down in shit, laminating us in strangers' turds under the guise of cleaning our hands. Well done, Dyson. Invent the leaf blower silencer or you'll be known as the shit laminator forever. Point being, the leaf blower job is a bullshit job. And David Graeber wrote a whole great book about bullshit jobs as well. I haven't read it, but I'm going to pretend I have for this segment. It's a tremendous book. You have to read it. I can't believe you haven't read it yet. You see, we have a lot of work that pays people that is near meaningless. And we all do it because we are wage slaves. We have to do bullshit jobs to survive. Here's an idea. How about no? How about no more wage slavery? A lot of it can be done by technology. A lot of it doesn't need to get done at all. And a lot of it can be thrown out if we just had a cultural awakening. So at this point in the discussion, people who suffer from a kind of Stockholm syndrome defend their wage masters by going, we can't get rid of all these jobs and give people houses and food and clothing without all that work, because then what will people do all day? People need work. It gives them meaning, right? What the fuck did you just say? Believing that it's like a perfect defense of slavery. If you free the slaves, what do they do all day? Look, I don't know what people will do with themselves. It's not my job to figure that out. Maybe they'll choose to count their farts, but that's called freedom. We're supposed to seek out freedom. We're supposed to want freedom. It's called freedom. Ever heard of existentialism? We must create our own meaning in our lives, and folding shirts at the Gap is not the answer. If you give people the time and freedom and understanding and education, then they will happily pick their own meaning in life. They don't spend 23 hours a day grooming high-end dogs, making sure the ass hair is just perfectly coiffed because that gives them meaning in life. They do it because they need money. How many people keep trimming the ass hair after they win the lottery? You know, that reminds me of a news story I saw a while back about a blue-collar worker who won the lottery, got several $1 million, and said he was going back to work at the factory on Monday to get paid minimum wage. And the news report, you know, like local news, was all about how tremendous this was. What a great guy. He's going back to the factory, whoopee, whoopee, hoo-ha. But that shouldn't be celebrated. It's insane. It's bananas. It means he's been indoctrinated so thoroughly, he can't see life outside of the factory. And that's just sad. That's like a prisoner who can't leave prison. It's not something to have a goddamn ticker tape parade over. Point being, we should want all the unemployed right now to have jobs, because without the jobs, they can't get by. But we should also be talking about how one day, preferably soon, we should not want to have these jobs. At least not full-time slaving away, doing labor you hate. But that conversation can't be had, right? No, sirree. Shut up. Go home. Everyone must work all the time because this is America, land of the free. As long as you're a slave. We're the freest slaves there are. My boss told me so. Anyway, that's what I have for today. Hope you get the point. If you like these, please head over to leecamp.com and click subscribe. I completely fucked by YouTube's algorithm, Facebook algorithm. So if you want to see these, go to leecamp.com every day. I put up a new one every single day, except sometimes. Every single weekday, except sometimes. So please go over there, check them out, leecamp.com. Click subscribe. Keep fighting.